Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today I'm very proud to be releasing Yamaha's latest in their Aventage range, the brand new RXA2070. This, not certainly mid-priced, it's at the upper end of things, but massively featured home theatre amplifier is, it's a brute and I love it. It's excellent to see it released here in New Zealand, and probably this is the first unboxing video available in Australasia. Okay, firstly looking at this thing. Like many of the big, heavy theatre amplifiers, they come with these packing straps, enabling us to sort of move them around in the warehouse and other things along those lines, but it sort of implies what's inside. It's heavy. So we're going to get rid of those straps first before talking about the rest of it. So, looking at the box, as you would expect as the feature set of these amplifiers evolves, the printed material all over these things starts to get a bit big. In fact, look, while I'm here, look at how big this amplifier is. It's huge! 20.5 kilos according to the thing on the box. Right, firstly, it supports Spotify, Pandora, Napster, to name a few, but the big guns are now also supported, Tidal and Deezer. So we have a look at this product. It runs up to 4 zones, although 3 audio. It's in the Yamaha's MusicCast domain, so that's, Google that one. Awesome implementation of both multi-room and control. One of the best implementations of Yamaha's Y-Power microphone setup, as well as DTS-X, Dolby Atmos. It'll run 7.1.2, it'll run 5.1.4, it'll run a second zone, it'll run a second video zone, it'll run a third audio zone. This thing has the feature set of kings. It is awesome. Okay, looking at it. Relatively plain brown boxes from Yamaha. On one end you have its model and serial number information, and all of the other surfaces we have the basic information of its model. Okay, opening it, this is factory sealed in just packing tape, so opening it quite easy. It's really about nicking the tape and then just dragging it across and doing the rest. Okay, we open this. Let's have a look for the first time. Again, this is a heavy amp. The first thing we'll see is a basic brochure about MusicCast and some of the supporting speakers that are available. It's worth having a play with the MusicCast app if you haven't already, or if you haven't owned a theatre amplifier with such a wonderful control option, please have a look. There's a brochure, there's a basic warranty card, there's introduction to Spotify. The user manual is on a CD-ROM. It's worth throwing that in the computer if you wish, maybe printing off the odd page, but most of it's so simple that you may not need to. There's also a warranty card in this. It has an FM and DAB aerial. It's worth mentioning that Yamaha no longer supports the AM broadcast. It's a decision being made sort of by them globally, as most countries no longer support the broadcast at all. Okay? Features in New Zealand, IEC power cable. Yamaha's Y-Power setup microphone, lovely protected in bubble wrap. This is the first model in the range that features a 3-dimensional Y-Power setup, giving you 4 positions including height to measure all manner of settings associated with your speaker's position and other things. So it comes with the triangular mic holder along with a rod enabling it to give it that height. Obviously it's remote control. As this model has up to 3 zones, there's actually a switch here giving the ability to select between those 2, 3 and 4 zones. Bag. And finally some AAA batteries for the remote. It's well protected by polystyrene. They haven't really scrimped on the amount. There's a good space between the outer box and the electronics itself. And as I sort of take a breath, lift this thing out, and we'll get rid of it. Now, like most Yamaha home theatre amplifiers, it's protected in transit by this sort of polystyrene paper, I guess. It's lovely and soft. It's not going to come to any harm in transit. And having a look at it, Here we are from the side, you'll see how physically deep it is. So I'll sort of position this for a moment to get rid of the paper. We start to have a look at this product for the first time. It has an oil dampened front panel, so with that it is sellotaped closed by this sort of protective tape. Removing it's easy and it does not leave any sticky residue. Looking at the amplifier from the front for the first time, we have the main input selector and above that the main power. It's a standby. Across the front we have its main display, which will indicate its surround sound mode, the number of speakers, all of those types of things. And on the far side a rotary encoder for volume and a button above it for its pure direct. Elegantly hidden under the front panel are all the things that you may not need to use every day. Some of the most important that are there, and the first that I'll discuss, are Yamaha's 4 scene selection buttons. These are for global presets that can be utilised to change or use as a memory any element of the setup of this amplifier. You can set those presets to do literally any change that you can manually set up within it, and it will remember those changes. Perfect for, I don't know, a nighttime mode where you don't want the subwoofer to work, or a party mode where you want everything to be cranked. Okay. Looking across the front, we've got the on-screen display and other buttons associated with using the setup of this without its remote or with its app. Below it is a 5-volt USB input. This is for digitally bringing music off portable devices like cell phones and iPads. It has enough current to actually charge one of the larger iPads as well. Beside it is a Y-Power mic input. That's specifically to the Y-Power mic. It's not a karaoke microphone. Beside it is a 6 1/4 headphone socket. And along from there is a single analog input of left and right. Further along the base is the single HDMI front input, giving this a total of maybe 8, as there'll be quite a few at the rear. You've got program settings and other things associated with the radio tuner. AM, FM and DAB is supported by this unit, and it's also got buttons to control zone 2, 3 and 4. As we spin this unit around, you'll see again how deep it is, and if I lean it up you'll see how beautiful the ventilation is, and perhaps a glance at what's inside. Looking at the rear for the first time, you see how well appointed it is from a feature set perspective. The wireless, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth antenna is there, along with the network socket beside it. As we start from one side and look across, it's got a dedicated phono input, a number of analog inputs, and below those optical and coaxial digital inputs. There's the aerial socket, which is an F-type connection for both DAB and FM. There's a couple of legacy inputs for video, of composite and component video. Take some of the older products and up-convert it to the HDMI standards that it supports, as well as things like portable cameras, Wii consoles, those types of things which just have composite out. There's a big row of HDMI sockets, including 2 HDMI outputs, that gives the ability to have the second HDMI picture zone. So effectively this could be used as a matrix switcher in the HDMI domain. Myriad of analog inputs and outputs, and all of its processing has a pre-out dedicated to it. There's a twin subwoofer output, allowing for both left and right or front and rear subwoofers. From an amplification standpoint, this is a 9.2 channel amplifier, so it's got 9 channels of amplification on board. It has an additional set of binding posts enabling us to allocate or temporarily switch to run perhaps a second audio zone for music if you're running 7.1.2 or other functions like that. We can sort of mix and match the outcome that you may require to ensure that its speaker outputs will work in the scenario you have in your own home. Above the myriad of speaker outputs there is a little section for control. There's both RS232, 12 volt triggers and IR inputs and outputs, enabling this to be connected into any number of different control solutions, or even just monitoring its operation, or control something like an electric screen or blinds or something like that, so that the state of this unit can be monitored and it goes and does something for you. It's worth mentioning that Yamaha, of course, have dedicated IP control, and that would be via the network socket. Okay, off to the far side, the final thing, of course, is the IEC power socket. Okay, so looking at this beautiful, feature-rich, excellently appointed theatre amplifier from Yamaha, their brand new RXA2070, unboxed here at the Listening Post in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.